Hey everyone, welcome to my studio where today we are painting a gorgeous yellow sunset that is perfect for beginner acrylic painters. Now let's go ahead, grab our supplies, and let's get started. The first step in our painting is to go ahead and get our gradient down onto our canvas. Now I am using a large square brush and I've mixed a color combination of cadmium yellow and titanium white together, and I'm going to apply this color mixture to the top and the bottom of my canvas. The next step is I'm going to apply more cadmium yellow to my paintbrush straight out of the tube, and I'm going to apply this just below and above our soft yellow. Now for this painting, as we move towards the center of our canvas, our sunset or our sunrise is becoming more orange and pink. So I want this to be a natural gradient from a very soft yellow to a very vibrant orange-red color. So I'm going to apply a decent amount of this yellow color first, sort of priming my canvas with a lot of wet paint, and then I'm going to slowly start to add in those orange and red tones over top. This is what you call wet on wet blending, when you have a wet canvas and wet paint on your paintbrush and you combine them together to create a brand new color on your surface. So we're not using our palette to create the color and then apply it. We're doing everything directly on our surface. Now, what I'm going to do is in the center, the brightest areas, I've added in some orange directly from the tube, and then I've also added in some violet directly from the tube as well. And this is going to blend together to create a really soft, beautiful blood orange, and that's going to be the brightest area of our painting right in that center line. So essentially, I want you to, as I've done here, basically split the canvas in half. The center is going to be orange and red, slowly leading out to a yellow and a very light yellow towards the top and the bottom. Now, with gradients and using wet on wet blending, our colors are naturally going to blend together, which is exactly what we're looking for. However, when you use white in your color mixture, a lot of times it will lighten and soften colors and decrease the saturation, basically making our colors kind of dull. And because this painting is so vibrant and so saturated, I wanted to make sure I came in over top with my orange, my violet, and a little bit of cadmium red together and really increase the brightness and the colorfulness of this center area. Now, while we're working on boosting our saturation, I have switched to two different brushes. I use a smaller square brush and a round brush for this section, as I want a little bit more control and I don't want to cover over such a large area as we did in the very beginning. We're slowly working on our detail layers. We've kind of moved beyond the basic gradient and we're starting to add in some more information. So using a smaller brush gives us more control and more accuracy in where we're placing our colors. Now you can see just how beautifully this sort of blood orange is applying to the canvas. It does look a little bit red on film, but this is kind of a deep, dark orange color. And I'm just slowly starting to apply these very thin layers over top to create the look that I'm going for. Now, this step in the painting, I will say, is a little bit of a bonus. You do not have to do this step if you don't want to, but I always think it's great practice to bring out our blender brushes and have some fun. So I am using a large blender, and what I've done is I'm slowly starting to add in some cloud texture to this painting. I thought originally that just the very linear look was a little boring, so I wanted to bring in a little bit of a foggy, misty, light cloud effect to the top and a little bit of the bottom part of my painting. So I'm using a blender. You can use any sort of dry, old, crusty brush that you have available, and very little water. You're going to want to make sure your brush is dry. And I'm just going in and I'm patting in this soft orange color to the top and the bottom of this cloud area. Now, with the blenders, this makes things so much easier as it tends to kind of smush the paint around. It tends to do a very excellent dry brush effect. And I definitely encourage you, if you do not have one in your art kit, please do see if you can find one. It has been an ultimate game changer for me, and I think will make this part of your painting easier. All right, so the next step for us is we're going to take a liner brush or a small round, and we're going to cut this canvas in half using Mars Black paint, and we're just going to draw a simple line right through the middle. This is going to be our horizon line moving forward, so we're going to have the top half be our sky, and the bottom half is going to act as the lake reflection. So the next step is to go ahead and add in trees to our horizon line. Now I've decided to use a small round brush, and I've mixed a color combination of Mars Black and purple together, and I'm going to slowly work my way across this horizon line, adding in clumps of trees. Now the great part about using a round brush or a liner is that this brush is going to illustrate these trees for us. So doing small, tiny up and down brush strokes is going to give the appearance of clump trees without having to put in all of that detail. Now using Mars Black paint and my small round brush, I'm going to go ahead now and paint the island that is in the center of our canvas. So roughly look at your horizon line, find the center, and we're going to go a little bit below our horizon line and start to paint in this larger island. This island, in terms of perspective, is much closer to us, so it's going to be a little bit further down from our horizon and a little bit larger up towards the sky. So it is going to be much thicker and bigger than our trees we painted for our horizon. Now while that section is drying, I'm just going to go ahead and add in a splash of purple and violet to our sky. Now this color is going to act as almost like a dark bank of clouds in the distance, and I'm going to add them on the left and the right side of this canvas. This is going to really help draw the viewer's eyes to our focal point, which is our island and trees, and just kind of make a little bit more of a dynamic skyline. Alright, so using a liner or a small round brush, you're going to mix a very soft yellow color, and you're just going to add a very thin line along your horizon line and the bottom of our island. This is going to essentially insinuate the water lapping up against the shore and just create a really nice visual. So the next step in our painting is, in my opinion, the most important, but also the most enjoyable, and that's going to be to get our trees onto our island. Now I am using a small round brush and Mars Black paint, and to paint these trees, I'm essentially going to start with one single vertical line. I like to start with the vertical line because I don't want to commit to the tree's placement right away. So you're going to see I start with the line, I make sure that the location is where I want it, and then I will start to paint in the branches over top. Now it's important to remember that even though these trees are set further away from us, we still want them to have some sort of detail and to look realistic. So the best way I found of doing this was to start with your tree trunk, that vertical line, and from there you're going to work from top to bottom, left to right, adding in these branches. I'm doing tiny little brush strokes, adding in as I go, and I want to make sure that I'm leaving spaces in between some of these branches. We want to make sure that there's a little bit of gap, that the background can shine through, and that we're not painting them just as big, blocky triangles. Next, we're going to paint in the reflection of our trees in our lake. I'm using a medium square brush, Mars Black, and a lot of water, and I'm dragging this color down from the middle of my island towards the bottom of my canvas to create the illusion of a reflection. Now once that has dried, I'm coming in with the exact same brush and my color combination of cadmium yellow, titanium white together, and a lot of water. This is very translucent, and I'm just coming in and adding in some glossiness to our lake's surface. This is going to give you the appearance of movement, or maybe there is a bird out on the water that is causing this kind of chaos, and it's not perfectly still. I'm adding in a little bit of a highlight on the bottom of my lake so that it looks as though that water is hitting the shore and kind of causing that foam, that white bright foam. And then I'm also going to add in some birds. I'm using my liner brush for the majority of these tiny details, titanium white for my birds in the sky, and you can add these or you can omit them. It's entirely up to you, but this is what I like to call my finishing stages. So I'm finding all of those finer, minute details that really kind of make a painting unique and special to the artist. All right, and there you have it. There is our beautiful orange sunset. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did enjoy, please make sure you leave a like and a comment letting me know your favorite part of today's video and what you would like to see next for a tutorial. A big shout out and thank you to our Patreon members. Thank you so much for your support as always. And if you yourself would like to become a member, all of the information is in the description box below. And last but not least, a big shout out to our channel sponsors, Chartpak, Grumbacher, and Molotov for sponsoring today's video. Their links can be found in the description box below, as well as a special coupon to help save you on your next art supply purchase. Want to level up your acrylic painting skills with another video? Check out this one next.